Russia launched a massive attack early on Sunday, hitting targets across Ukraine with 120 missiles and 90 drones.
Russia's prominent opposition figures finally unite in Berlin and lead a march with one voice and clear demands: no Putin, no war, and democracy for the motherland.
Protesters in Abkhazia refused to leave government buildings despite the breakaway region's de facto president pledging to step down.
Russia launched a massive attack early on Sunday, hitting targets across Ukraine with around 120 missiles and 90 drones. Here in the southern city of Mykolaiv, 2 people were killed and 6 others were injured, including 2 children, President Volodymyr Zelensky said. Russia also targeted parts of Ukraine's energy infrastructure across the country, just as winter is approaching. Its strikes have been hammering power plants ever since it invaded in February 2022. 2 people were killed in the Odessa region, where the attack damaged energy infrastructure and disrupted both power and water supplies, the local governor reported. The barrage included Iranian-made drones as well as cruise, ballistic and aircraft-launched missiles. Air defences shot down 140 targets, Zelensky claimed. The operational command of Poland's armed forces also reported that Polish and other Western aircraft were mobilised as the strikes came in.
Russia's exiled anti-war opposition has so far largely failed to speak with one voice and present a clear plan of action. But it was a different scene on Sunday in central Berlin. Prominent Russian opposition figures led a march of at least 1,000 people against the war in Ukraine and calling for democracy in the motherland. Yulia Navalnaya, the widow of Alexei Navalny, as well as Ilya Yashin and Vladimir Kara-Murza were among the protesters. Their demands were highly optimistic, but clear: immediate withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukraine, trial of Vladimir Putin as a war criminal, and the release of all political prisoners in Russia. The unification of the opposition finally happened as a result of a landmark East-West prisoner swap in August that freed key dissidents and helped to reinvigorate a movement that was fractured by the death in prison of Navalny.
Protesters in the breakaway region of Abkhazia have refused to leave government buildings they stormed to protest against a new property deal. Lawmakers had gathered in the parliament to discuss ratifying measures allowing Russian citizens to buy property with generous tax breaks. Opponents say it will drive up prices of apartments and boost Moscow's dominance in the region. The region's de facto president, Aslam Bjania, said he would step down and hold early elections if demonstrators vacated parliament. But crowds in the capital, Suhumi, rejected the proposal and said they would only accept his unconditional resignation. That property deal has since been scrapped. Russia recognizes Abkhazia as an independent country, but many Abkhazians are concerned that the region of around 245,000 people is a client state of Moscow.
The deadline for evacuating the village of Brienz in eastern Switzerland ends at 1 p.m. on Sunday. After that, Phase Red begins and access to the village is prohibited. This situation is due to the devastating landslides in the area, and it could last until spring. The 80 or so inhabitants of the village have to leave their homes for the second time in 18 months. Some 1.2 million cubic meters of rubble above the village is moving down the valley and threatens to destroy the whole settlement. Not only people, but animals, art pieces, historical items, and local archives are also being relocated. The 500-year-old late Gothic altar has also been removed from the Church of St. Callistus for a second time. In order to enforce the ban on entering the village and ensure safety, the area is now being monitored electronically. Specialists used the helicopter to install new prism mirrors for the laser tachymeter as an early warning system above Brienz. These mirrors measure how the mountain is moving, and according to the initial measurements, one section is sliding at a rate of 20 centimeters per day.